All right. Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome into NFT Live on the Web3 Network. Yeah, that's right. I'm here solo, bringing you the NFT and Web3 news from around the industry. I was going to cancel today's episode, but I thought better of it. I want to bring the news to you guys. I want to be sitting here talking about all of the latest, talking about the CryptoDickButts reveal, season 4. Hopefully, it's the last. We'll see. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. The chat's already lit talking about Beeple, so I definitely want to get into it here today. But again, I am solo. Gifted and myself had appointments earlier today to get to, so we couldn't get to the normal 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had to live our lives. This is what we're doing. Living in the matrix and trying to touch some grass at the same time. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do today. So thank you for joining me. I will get into a lot of the news around the space. Let's go through this rundown really quick. So here's what I got. I got Beeple buying a punk. We are going to touch on that. I know Marty's not happy with Mr. Beeple in general, but we will see if we can get another quote out of him. We also got to talk about an Animoca Brands Yuga Labs and N-Way Play. Apparently, is a announcement that is upcoming tomorrow. Uniswap, CryptoDickButts reveal Oni Point Systems, Grails are revealing. We got to touch on some Nakamigos, some NFT token statistics, Worldcoin getting banned. Yes, they're already getting banned, but we're going to get into all that. Prodigy saying, I'm sorry for solo bullying Q. I thought, honestly, you were going to say, hey, Gifted's not here. I'm going to leave because you already told me Biggie is the talent on this channel. So, again, I love these throwback episodes where I'm just by myself, but I appreciate any support I can get from the audience. Again, not only am I solo, we're doing this at a different time. I'll try to get some tweets out at the same time, but let's just jump into it, man. I'm gonna hit some of these different announcements if you can do so now. I would love it. You see that I'm here solo, I'm by myself. I would love a like if you could. It'll get me energized, it'll get me ready to go. To those of you tuning in afterwards, thank you for showing up each day to talk Web3 and NFT news. There's a lot to cover, so I'm about to just get into it. Remember, nothing you're hearing today is actually financial advice. But let's get into it, man. Here's the markets as they stand today. I don't think we had too much movement on the crypto side. I think Ethereum and Bitcoin kind of ranging after that really big pullback. And when I say really big, I mean like 6 to 7%, which is kind of nice to say out loud. That we're not seeing like 20 to 30% drawdowns in a day. But Bitcoin currently sitting at 29K, Ethereum at 18.5. They've been ranging there for a little while. You can kind of see that. We had that DeFi exploit on Curve that was happening over the last 48 hours. It seems like everything's cooling down. I don't think we're out of the weeds on that, though. But let's jump into NFT price floors here really quick. Nakamigos is 0.28. So Nakamigos is seeing some good price action. CryptoDickButts Season 3 is down almost 30% on the 7-day. I hate those. I hate those Season 4s. We'll look at those in just a second. Bored Apes down 6% on the 7-day at 28.8. That one hurts. Pudgy's up 3%. Let's see what else. What other movement we got? Milady's up 10% on the 7-day. Grapes doing extremely well. Grapes are up 100% in the last 7 days. That it seems like there's a new meta right now that if you attach a token to what you're trying to do, or at least like hint at it, you're gonna see, some type of interest. There were a couple others. It's escaping me right now, but Grapes essentially have a NFT, obviously like a PFP collection, but they also have the added utility that there's some type of DeFi mechanic. You can earn Grape token if you hold X, which we know how that ends. So I don't know. We'll see if they can pull it off, but not many NFT projects have been able to support an ERC20, let alone ApeCoin. I mean, one of the biggest projects in the space in NFT collections, Bored Ape Yacht Club, has ApeCoin. There's not that much utility around it. Therefore, you're kind of sitting there saying, okay, I'm holding this at 15. I bought in at 12. Now it's moving down and it's sitting, I think, about 1.8 right now, about $1.08 or 80 cents. Sorry if I spooked you there. So other moves from around the space, heavy metals has been ranging as well. Those assets from the Forge. I don't know about Punk's 2023. I'll touch on that just in a second, Marty, because I do want to get into the CryptoPunks buy here in just a moment. DeGod's doing pretty well. So the DeGods are above 9 ETH now. That's obviously off the backs of season 3 and all of this season 3 announcements and reveals that are set to happen on at August 9th, I believe. All right, biggest story of the day here. I wouldn't say biggest story. Maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth on that one. But Beeple bought a CryptoPunk. Congrats, one of my favorite clown noses. So this story is circulating. Obviously, CryptoPunks are one of the most epic and largest collections in the entire NFT space. It easily have like top provenance in the industry. And Beeple himself bought a CryptoPunk. He was tweeting out this image as well. This is his everyday. So he's tweeting out, "A punk is born." I'm not a big fan of the everydays. I haven't really gotten involved in a lot of them, and a lot of them are very look. I like the virality of what he creates. It's about it kind of encapsulates what's happening on that day in crypto. The problem with that is what's happening in crypto is absolutely ridiculous. So I guess he gets points off that, but I'm good on seeing pictures of speaking of pictures of phallic images that Beeple creates, I do want to get to CryptoDickButts, but I completely lost the conversation here on my chat thread, but I think I can pull it up on my mobile. So I'll go back. Nice to see you guys here, by the way. Marty McFly, Easy in Crypto, Prodigy. I do want to go back. Imagine making literally millions for 2 years and then just buying your first NFT. What a community member. Which is referencing Beeple's tweet about not buying a PFP. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't bought. That does not mean he hasn't bought art, NFT art, and things like this. It just means he didn't buy a PFP. But in general, I agree with Marty McFly's comment that Beeple is somewhat kind of always on the periphery, but somehow put up as a god of the industry. So it is what it is on that front. I'm going to try to find that tweet for y'all, by the way, to see if I can peruse out the info on that one. All right, so this tweet actually came out when he made the purchase. Appreciate all the kind words on this. Thankful to have the opportunity to be a small part of this amazing community. This is the first PFP I have ever bought, and it is a really long time coming. From the time I learned of NFTs, this project has always stood out to me. So this is kind of a love story here to CryptoPunks. Marty, you should like this. The fact that this ridiculously innovative artwork was given away years ago, and at the time almost nobody cared, but the idea then eventually spawned an entire asset class, to me is just beyond comprehension. I wanted to get something with very recognizable features that to me embody the spirit of punks that I could build a story around through everydays. LFG. Look, it's a notable punk. I'll give it that. I've already kind of spoke my piece on Beeple. He's not the look. We do daily shows, so we're talking about the news, and oftentimes I feel like that can come off just like complaining all the time. So I'm not going to sit up here and say like he's the worst guy ever. There are some things that you've seen. Like he immediately, I think, took the 69 million that he had made in the ETH and sold it into USD. I would have, again, that sounds shitty, right? To say that sounds like I'm just bitching and moaning up here about a guy making a bag, which he should. But you would have liked to see a little bit of that kept in ETH, right? So it does. I will end it with just saying it does not surprise me that he has not bought an NFT PFP. So That's what I'll say about that. Prodigy saying it. I mean, it's just a good look. At least he got one. What's the problem? Marty saying, imagine taking millions in NFTs and not buying a single NFT. There's a raging debate here. No, he should have bought something at some point. He could have bought one CDB, for example. He didn't need to buy a punk, but any NFT. I never said one of everything. He should be a participant. I think I'm making sense. It's not about the money. So look, I'm reading this conversation off in real time. This was the convo that was had prior to me pressing live because apparently I was extremely late. Shoot me. I lean more towards Marty McFly here. He's not asking him to purchase the goose, for example. Like Punk 6529 wants to buy a 4.2 or $6.9 million generative art piece. Awesome. Like I actually lean more towards Punk 6529 because he clearly is trying to push the industry forward in different ways than maybe what Beeple's doing, which is gain a whole bunch of notoriety. So Prodigy, I don't think Marty's trying to say again, like spend millions of dollars. The guy made $69 million on a single NFT. He could have bought anything. You could have bought a Lazy Lions. You could have bought a Sappy Seal. Like this shit costs a dollar today. Like just buy one. So that was the whole idea. I side with Marty on that take as well. Marty saying I'm cleaning up poop on a forge. I was doing that earlier this morning as well. Easy, I see you there in chat as well. He could have at least supported a few artists he liked. Okay, so that's where let's make sure we draw a line here, Easy. He might have done that. He said NFT PFP. He could have used some of the cash to buy art, right? So that I just want to make that clear. Do we expect a Lizzo mint? Look, okay, I'm wrapping up that convo. I appreciate those comments though, guys. Keep them coming through as I am against solo today, so it really helps actually like have a flow of conversation. We covered the CryptoDickButts yesterday and over the last 48 hours. Essentially, the project said, this is the last mint for us. We are riding off into the sunset. Whoever mints the most season 4, whoever has the most Dickbutts at the end of this season 4 gets to own the collection. The collection, the treasury, the Twitter. And, you know, that's a whole other conversation. This is the art that revealed. And let me be extremely clear about this. I already have voiced my concerns over the way that they were doing this drop. So for this drop to then reveal this art, I don't understand how anybody could expect anything good from what's happening CryptoDickButts, at least in the short term. In the very near short term, I don't understand how you could expect anything good to happen. Okay? Who could take this project over? Who could take this project over that would make you feel good about the CryptoDickButts after that reveal? I'm going to try to find season 4, by the way, and try to get these large and blown up. All right. Again, let me see if I can pull this bad boy up. This is what we expect in the industry, I guess, these days. Like this is what we're putting up with from one of the most talked about collections. It's just bad. It is terrible art. Quantum variance coming in. It's terrible art. Yes, it is. This could have been done, and I'm not an artist. That's the thing. I'm not that much of an artist. So you folks that actually create awesome pieces, and I see them come across my Twitter timeline all the time. This is what we're putting up with. Benja, good to see you. Hello there, fam. First time I make it live. Always listen to the recorded show. Benja, thank you. Appreciate you for showing up live here today. Unfortunately, all you get is me and these beautiful pictures of CryptoDickButts. But again, we're going a little bit later today. Gift Ed couldn't make it. Biggie's out. We have all 4 tomorrow, though. All 4 of us. Nifty Q, Biggie Poppins, Ronan the Collector, and Gift Ed. One for the ages. So tune in tomorrow. Prodigy saying, I told you MFers, we just never buying shit because every new drop or second reveal is just dog. First of all, eloquently put there, Prodigy. Second of all, we do need a couple dubs here, but we are getting some. I think the proof grails I want to cover today. We also are getting the mythics from Moonbirds. We actually have some W's in this space. Thank Jesus. Because there's been a lot of this. So before I close this story out, any last takes y'all think on the CryptoDickButts saga that is apparently ending now in about 28 days. So there's 28 days post-reveal to figure out who is going to own this beautiful collection of NFT IP. Just amazing. And I'm sure like when my co-hosts come up here, either tomorrow or next week, we can actually dive in. Let's see what the treasury looks like. Let's see what all of this is going to unfold, because it was a ish novel way to rug your community. You can call it an exit. You can call it an acquisition by the community. It's a soft rug, in my opinion. I think heavy metal was good. Heavy metal was underrated. So before we get to the next piece, heavy metal doesn't have that many announcements to talk about. But the more I actually am looking at my heavies each day, and the more I'm kind of looking at them on Blur, I do think the heavies actually look pretty good. So again, there might be some like quality issues coming in from the stream and all these different things. But if you go to the heavy metal collection, I really like the amount of variety that you see in this collection. There's 28,000 of these, and there's a lot of variety there. There's a solid amount of work. Again, it feels quality, and a lot like with Yuga, like the whole conversation around Yuga is the topic as opposed to the specific asset itself, right? What is Yuga building? What is the game going to do? I don't think spent as much time on the actual art of the mechs. I mean, there's 28,000. The variety, the quality, I think was extremely good. And I think it's going to stand the test of time. Again, it's a mini game, so maybe they won't literally stand the test of time because they will be turned into these mechs with the amps. But I agree with you, Prodigy. I think heavy metal was good. The drop was okay. The game, they better have a good ass raid. I'll tell you that. Benja is saying the heavy metal art is amazing. Imagine the challenge it will be to make each trait evolve. Fantastic point. Marty's saying, I don't think any of the pervy stuff, CDB, Art Gobblers, Beeple included. Oh, I don't like. Yeah. There is some element to that in crypto today, right? You see a lot of, that's just like a base of like dark net, like the dark web. Like there's an element to that. I don't know where it gets those features. Maybe it's because it's primarily its primary demographic is male for the most part. So maybe you get this like locker room type vibe sometimes. But yeah, Art Gobblers was trash. I liked CryptoDickButts for what they represented. I hated this soft rug, and I hate that. Whatever that season 4 we looked at sucked. And I'll reserve my thoughts anymore on Beeple. All right, I'm going to get us into some other quick pieces. This was kind of breaking news here while we were supposed to be live. Again, we're coming to you a little bit late today. I'm going to get some other tweets out, try to get people in here. But I'm sure a lot of folks thought we were maybe not doing an episode today. So Enway Play, which I'll look into in a second, says tomorrow, ... Yuga Labs, Animoca Brands, and Rec League HQ. Rec League HQ seems to be the smallest profile from all of these, but you should know by this time in the space, Animoca Brands, you should know Yuga. Enway Play says we create fun and rewarding games with digital ownership. They've got a cool cat on the front here talking about building out a specific game. Welcome to Rec League. Let's see if this does anything for us. Oh, premieres in 19 hours. So it looks like a new game is being launched. Also, Yacht is here saying powered by ApeCoin. So a lot of it, shrouded in mystery. Shocker, it's Web3 at this point. Don't release a roadmap. Don't tell us what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and let us talk about it. Ben just saying, just bought my plane ticket to Hong Kong. Will I get to meet you there, Nifty Q? Well, you're buying a ticket to Hong Kong before you know if you get an Ape Fest ticket. The Ape Fest claim is tomorrow morning, I believe. That's a little bit of a gamble there, sir. Pretty sure all the perv projects come from Epstein Island, and his Prodigy is, of course, on one today. I did not expect anything different. So the Yuga Animoca, I mean, anything right now, being a Bored Ape holder and ApeCoin holder, I'm not sure anything that they can announce tomorrow is going to, push the needle. The Roar Studios announcement was interesting for, I think people like got to the bottom of who was behind that Roar Studio. So it was more of a acquisition hire or an acqui-hire where they're taking the team from Roar Studios, which has a significant background. Prodigy, you'd actually be interested in this. One of the guys that was acquired or hired from Yuga Labs in this Roar Studios acquisition actually scaled Riot Games from, I think it was 50 developers to 500 developers. And that's, again, at Riot Games. So you can see why they bought Roar Studios. Have you looked into what's happening with the Curve exploit? We have covered it. I can look into any details. If you have any specific questions, we have been covering it. So I do have some knowledge of the scenario. I'm not shocked. I'll leave it there. This is like Groundhog Day in DeFi. You're taking essentially really awesome tools and applying human nature to it. So it wasn't a failure of DeFi; it was a failure of human nature. Is definitely what's happening with Curve right now. There are some exploits, don't get me wrong, that are a fault. But again, it's not a fault of the actual code. It's how the code was written sometimes. So a lot of stuff. But if you have any specific questions or want to cover a specific one, man, I'm up here today with y'all. So I'll pull up anything. This was an interesting piece while we're on DeFi and while we're talking Curve with Quantum Variant. DeFi Prime, which is a great Twitter follow if you're interested in following the various DeFi goings on, came out with this tweet from the block saying Uniswap delists Hex token from interface after SEC alleges it's an unregistered security. A lot to unpack there. I thought we were kind of done with the SEC FUD in the short term, but I guess Hex is really coming under fire. We showed the Richard Hart video the other day. But the tweet it tells the story, right? DeFi Prime is saying much decentralized. Uniswap, the biggest decentralized exchange, I think, in the world at this point. There might, you might have some user statistics on other chains that say otherwise, but Uniswap definitely one of the bigger platforms in DeFi, and they're just changing the front end so that people can't access the Hex token. Now, the coders and developers will say you can access it through some other tunnel or way through that isn't not on the front end. So it technically still is available. But the fact that Uniswap is delisting tokens is interesting, being a DEX themselves. But that highlights the problem with what is decentralized, what isn't. I think the idea that it's binary is some people still think that today, which I don't get. But decentralization is not binary; it's a spectrum, and we see every day that these businesses are trying to run and trying to figure out ways that decentralization works. And in this case, they clearly thought that they had some type of regulatory risk and delisted Hex from Uniswap. Marty saying, Benjo, what was the draw to Hong Kong? Are you close? Just Ape Fest? Question mark. Prodigy saying, I gotta get heading out of here, leaving work. We'll see you in 15. If you're still here, I'll still be here, brother. I'll see you in 15 minutes. Benja was one of the first ones that got his Ape Fest ticket. That's interesting. So they did not come through and say, hey, everybody that got an Ape Fest ticket, you have to give it back. I don't know how many people got the Ape Fest ticket, but it was like, it couldn't have been more than 1,000. I don't know how many people got it, but it couldn't have been in or around that number because the majority of the community did not get a ticket. So congratulations to you, Benja. I don't know whether I'm going to Hong Kong. It's a big ask where I am at in the world. I think it's a coin flip at this point whether I'm going to Hong Kong. I will keep you up to date though and make my decision relatively shortly. But congrats on that ticket, man. All right, Quantum, I didn't see you come through with anything else on the Curve exploit. So, TLDR for you folks at home. I mean, the Curve essentially got had a day one exploit on the token, which means there was someone with knowledge of the code on literally day one, or at least went back and somehow was able to read this stuff. Just a savvy individual took advantage of an error in the code, and that forced the Curve token, I believe, downward. And all in all, that would suck, right? But there's all these like DeFi measures, like decentralized insurance, that could potentially be used here. I think most of it made its way to a white hat hackers, anyways. Like the white hats, which essentially they make money through exploiting these protocols and not taking all of the money. The problem with this entire thing is the founder of Curve was levered up on his own tokens. Stop me if you've heard this before. He bought mansions with the loans on the Curve tokens. And then as the Curve price started to break down, started to get closer and closer to his liquidation price on this loan, again, that he used to buy physical mansions in Australia, which, by the way, Aussies have a great look at this space. They understand how DeFi works. Quantum saying, I'm wondering if there will be the contagious to the rest of DeFi. I don't think we're out of the woods on that yet, but the stories came out overnight that guys like Justin Sun and a couple other large whales, like, and I mean whales, not, the NFT whales, like whales, came in and basically bought his tokens, his remaining tokens, or a portion of his remaining tokens, to essentially give him capital so that he could pay down that loan. So now the liquidation price gets pushed lower and lower, and the risk of him getting liquidated gets pretty much alleviated. As when I was saying, that's one hell of a curveball. Woo! I'm just going to stew in that one for a sec. All right, I'll look up a couple different sources here to see if we're out of the woods on Curve token. This is a tweet, and this comes directly from Curve Finance. This is the first tweet they have. It's a retweet of another pool, which is essentially like Quantum's making the right deduction. What is this risk to the rest of DeFi? Because there are Curve tokens used in so many different DeFi protocols. I mean, it's one of the original DeFi tokens and protocols. I remember when Curve Finance launched in DeFi summer 2020. Those were the days, I will tell you. But it looks like Convex Finance here is saying the new Curve pool is live and CVX rewards have been added to the pool to get things started. So we're starting to creep out of it. I doubt they're going to have the story about Justin Sun and co coming in. The Viper hack timeline. So a timeline and postmortem for the Viper compiler bug and vulnerabilities. I'm going to look one last time here because I am interested, like Quantum is, before I move on to this next piece. Curve Finance. Apparently, Aave took a big hit too. So Aave is another just huge DeFi protocol. Aave price takes double digit hit, but strong fundamentals point to eventual recovery. I don't see anything specific here about that loan, but that's what it became. And I don't see anything, which is maybe a good thing, right? If we consistently, let's take a look at the curve price. Maybe that'll give us a better indication of where we sit today. All right, so this is the curve DAO. Again, this is the token which my man, and I'm blanking on his name. It's Russian or some type of Eastern European, Egmanov or something like that. The founder of Curve was using his own tokens to take out hundreds of millions of dollar loan to purchase a variety of different things. Very Richard Hart-esque, if you will. Curve DAO is sitting at 0.57, so that's not great. I don't know where his liquidation price is, but it bounced off of 0.55 today. You can see it sitting there. Let's see, 30 days. You can just see the volume spike that you saw with this hack. 0.50, I think, is the farthest it fell in this time span. I think what you probably should be watching is this token price. If you're super interested in this Curve token and the fallout, if it doesn't move below 0.50, likely he's not going to get liquidated, right? Because his liquidation price is so far below that number now, hopefully, that we're okay. The Curve guy was leveraged on a lot of other platforms too. Yep. Again, shocked. This is my surprised face. Interestingly enough, a lot of these guys get themselves in this scenario and no one comes through. Like historically, I think SBF got manhandled by CZ there saying, hey, I'll come in and support either a token price or XYZ. I'll come in with some funds to save the day. That happened, I believe, with Terra Luna as well. The guy was just using Terra Luna or Luna token to, and I don't want to trip over my words, support the USD stablecoin. It seems like this scenario, TLDR, wrapping a bow on it. Somebody came in, saved the day, or individuals came in and saved the day. Don't do risky crypto loans when you run a platform. Seems like an easy rule to follow. Apparently not. Apparently not. All right, on to some positive news. And I have about 5 or 6 more stories. Again, thank you for joining me today. We're at a little bit later than the normal time we usually go. So I'm sure folks thought we canceled the episode. I'm going to try to get some retweets out now right after this next story. Benja is saying the thing is Heavy Metal Season 6 ends November 2nd and 8 Fest is November 3rd. Don't think this is a coincidence. Evo 2 coming down live at the event is my spec. Thank you. This is why I love you guys. That's a great speculative thought there. Evo 2 coming down live at the event. They're gonna walk out some Gundam Wing suit there for the evolution. That is awesome. Great thought. I'm gonna find you on Twitter and give you a shout out as well. All right, we got a ton of people hopping in post episode. I know you guys are hopping in today. What I will ask of you right now, if you're here, because we have to band together again, no gift dead. I'm sure people already saw Q. I got to get out of here. It's just Q. But those of you that can, if you can please visit, I'm going to make sure I get this right. I'm going to drop the link. If you can please click on that link. I'm not stealing your funds. I'm telling you to go to twitter.com/NFT live. Give a little bit of love. Hold on, that's not even a damn tweet. The second one. And if you can go there, leave a like, leave a reply or something like that to get more folks knowing that we went live at 4 p.m., that would be great. I appreciate that. But let's get into the other piece of news that I wanted to cover specifically today. We're excited to announce the beta launch of our Oni Force Point system. Join now to begin earning 2x multipliers by repping your Oni as a Twitter PFP. The leaderboard awaits you. Stay tuned for announcement of our Season 1 reward sponsor. So this takes you to a website you can connect to. You can see the rules here. Basically, you're getting rewarded every 12 hours based on, having an Oni as your Twitter profile. And so they're basically incentivizing people to be sharing their IP and obviously the collection on Twitter, which I think is cool. I have not seen exactly, and I actually got screwed on this. I should have done it immediately because now there's going to be folks with like major amount of points on that leaderboard. So that's on me. One of the reasons I didn't actually go right away is because this is not integrated into Warm XYZ. So I actually have to connect my cold wallet to that, which is unfortunate. That's probably the only thing I would say negatively about that, because I don't necessarily know if that's worth the risk, but I'm going to do it anyways. All right, last bit of news here. Nakas have just been like actively traded forever. Like since they came out, if you go onto NFT Go, you go onto trending analytics for Ethereum specific projects, Nakas are just at the top. For whatever reason, they're just a heavily traded IP. And this is the announcement they put out last night. Fall is coming. If you're sensing any type of correlation to the other announcements, it's that it's more of an announcement of an announcement, or an announcement that has no further details. So no elongated roadmap, nothing absolutely crazy that's coming out. Maybe it is. I don't know. We just don't know that much about it. The most we know about is there's a tweet underneath that announcement that says Nakamigos are half the story. Next part coming for holders later this year. So one could venture to think that Nakamigos are running off the idea that there's going to be some type of secondary drop and secondary collection around this wolf. And I feel like I don't have to like jump off a ledge for that one. That seems actually pretty straightforward. We'll see what that actually looks like though come August. Oh my God, it's already August. Come fall, whatever fall means to them. Oh, this was, man, I meant to get this to y'all earlier, but I'm glad I can still do so. This was around that curve finance piece we were talking about. This was a great tweet. Chainlink God, fantastic Twitter profile if you haven't followed him, but nothing encapsulates DeFi better than a founder depositing 50% of his token circulating supply into various lending markets to fund the purchase of a mansion, then letting the position pose such a systemic risk to the solvency of the ecosystem that those who have a vested interest in not seeing DeFi collapse then bail them out. Welcome to the future of finance. Such a love-hate thing, man, because degens absolutely make this space awesome. The amount of innovation in this space is actually quite high. The we only hear about the super negative effects of all this stuff. There's actually a lot of people building cool things in this space. And degen culture, degen style, it's punk rock. The problem is this degenery at the highest levels of some of these protocols is actually the problem too. It's a live by the sword, die by the sword situation that we're in. Like, come on, man. Like there is literally no difference of what this guy did where he even then went to get a bailout from other people in this community. So at least it's insulated to this industry, I guess. Just put your Oni in a new separate hot wallet. That's safer given its floor versus your other stuff. I wanted to do that. That at that point it just becomes like I'm almost too lazy to do that, right? So because I have all my Onis in one cold wallet, I have most of my NFTs in that wallet. So like from an accounting perspective, from it's just it's an extra step. Just give me a damn hot wallet integration so I could do it. I don't like Nakamigos because of GIF. Oh, that's a thing. GIF, I don't know how you feel about that. All right. So I'm here for about 15 more minutes. Good to see everybody here. If you can, leave a like on the episode. I'm here solo dolo. So any comments you guys can add, I appreciate them all. Marty, Easy and Crypto, Quantum Variant. You guys have been fantastic throughout. This is an interesting topic to me. I enjoy theorizing about how tokens like an ape coin, like an AXS for Axie Infinity, I guess Milk Token, although I think Milk Token from Cool Cats is like discontinued or something. There's all of these, really cool incentive models and all these cool innovative thoughts that you can do by adding a token into your NFT project or community. The problem is none of that shit's worked. None of it. I really would love somebody to come up here and explain to me the most successful ERC20 token integration into an ecosystem for an NFT project. And I have the thread here, and we can go through some of them. Logan Hitchcock has graciously added all of these to a nice thread. He said the AXS boost had me peek into an NFT token basket I've been tracking for a long while. Can any of these or a future NFT ecosystem token actually survive? Charts from the last year, all data from CoinGecko. All right, he starts with the Axie Infinity token, down 96% from all-time high. And before we start on our journey into red candle land, understand that Ethereum and Bitcoin are both in red candle territory too, right? You're like over the past year, they're down 50 to 60%. So keep that in mind. But AXS down 96%. Ape has been well documented. I feel really good about my position just because I've been able to earn so much in staking that I can actually, see a future. And again, I'm bullish on Ape long term, where as long as I'm earning consistent amount staking, I feel comfortable at Ape at $10 or $15 in the future. Next bull run, I'm sitting pretty and chilling. If you just bought spot Ape, if you just bought Ape at $15, you're feeling like shit. If you bought Ape at the highest at 25, you're feeling like shit. And so I will say that. So, okay. So ApeCoin down 87%, Sand Token down 94%. That's the sandbox. Decentraland down 91%. Illuvium down 97%. Wolfgame Token down 99%. Banana, stop me when you tell I don't even know. I want to stop this. So the Cyberkongs token down 99%. Magic is down 91, but up on the year. So there's one Treasure Ecosystem token up on the year, down 86% from all-time high, but up on the year. Rare from Super Rare down 97%. I don't know if that counts. So in conclusion, I think the reason Super Rare counts there, it's not gaming necessarily related. It's like NFT related. So what that person did was essentially create a basket of NFT tokens to monitor. I don't think I'm sure there's like some way. I think Easy and Crypto was talking about B20, I believe, or a couple other baskets. Whale Token at one point was investing in a basket of NFTs. Have any of the NFT tokens that I just mentioned been successful? Are there any? And success at this metric is probably just staying even with ETH. You know, like maybe not even outperforming ETH, just not being down 98%. And if you're here today and you're a long-time investor in NFTs, I'm telling you something you already know. If you're brand new, you can listen right now. Do not get do not be that person that is in a Discord listening to these zealots. And that's what they are, the zealots, which a project needs zealots. But don't listen to these people on the financial performance of that token in the future. Because what you'll get is, oh, you know, CyberKong's banana is going to do awesome. You know, Sand Token. Oh, look at all the things that Sand Token, especially the ones that have these like highly dilutive practices. Don't. We were even up here talking about ApeCoin not doing well in the short term because of staking. So, in every ecosystem, if you had paid attention to the quote unquote zealots, and again, a project needs these people, right, to go forward. They're just not great financial advisors. So I hope you don't take, you know, not financial advice, but don't take financial advice from idiots. Okay, Blur token. There you go. So later in this thread, Blur token makes a ton of sense here. Because the marketplace is essentially one of the only projects or businesses that's insulated from this market in a certain way. I mean, of course, they're affected, don't get me wrong, but not as much because no matter if someone's buying or selling, markets up or down, Blur still has some type of business model. Now, whether they completely dilute Blur token by these farming mechanisms that we bring up every week, that's up to them. But at least there's a business model there. I'm still waiting for the free NFT projects to blow up. LOL. Remember that trend last year? Yes, the free NFTs. That was like the open edition almost, right? It was like a little bit of the open edition. Remind me what collections were the free NFT projects. I would love to stimulate my brain with those. Quantum Variant saying the Looks token dumped. Yep. I think Logan talked about the Looks token in here as well. So great point, Quantum. I didn't include Looks in this thread, but on the back of 3 pretty notable Looks Rare announcements in the last week, I'll check in. Token is up 10% last 7 days, but down nearly 99%. That's true. Prodigy saying that guy 7 is actually a Fed. So he's trying to get me to give financial advice because that guy 7 saying, then what should we buy? Isn't that the question of our time? Look, I think NFT price floors, and I'm probably not, you know, over the course of the whole market, not just like our insular community here, like NFT community. I think a lot of people think NFT price floors still have a ways to go. That being said, I have put my money on collections in the past 2 weeks, right? Like they've been bleeding. I bought 4 Oni Forces here 2 weeks ago at 0.8. I bought Moonbirds at 1.6. And this is just, it's been bleeding, man. So what should you buy? I don't know. I think Oni's, this is NFA, but we talk about Oni all the time. And it's because we believe in the IP. The price is wrecked. The supply is 7,777. They haven't launched a dilutive collection yet. They haven't launched any sort of token. Marty's saying the Fed is catching up with him. LOL's, Look, a lot of this stuff should be some of this stuff is your time frame as well. Like, what's your time frame? You trying to, flip in the next 2 weeks? There's probably you should go after Bald Token, new Coinbase layer 2 that I should tell you about. But if you're trying to like really, 2x or 3x in a week, those opportunities don't seem to be here. There's some minor speculation around projects doing secondary drops like a Nakamigos. You saw Frank DeGods. So if you have the liquidity and you're timing a mint, and those are two examples right there, right? If the sentiment seems to be lining up, you can time a Nakamigos like you saw. You can time a DeGods like you saw, because people are speculating around the drop. Long term, what I'm looking at are just absolutely oversold NFT projects. Like, I would not push, I don't think, anybody into apes right now. I wouldn't push anybody into mutants. I would, maybe mutants. I wouldn't push anybody into kennels. I think there's a significant amount of speculation around heavies. So, damn, that guy 7 saying 25 years. Yeah, I got to think on that. I'm not even 25 years. I mean, I might be dead in 25 years. I don't know, man. That's like literally a trillion billion years in crypto time. So heavies have seen, just in my personal perspective, right? Because I'm dealing with this all the time and seeing the floor prices. Heavies are seeing interesting volatility. They've traded from like 0.48 down to I think 0.97, and they're just like chopping. Onis have done the same. Like, they went down to 0.8, went up to 0.97. So there are opportunities in there, but it feels like you're day trading at that point. And again, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to ask. 500K in a 25-year time horizon. Listen, I will put together my thesis here off air and come back to you. That's actually a fantastic question. I think we should get that question answered tomorrow on NFT Live at the regular time. I can only kind of talk from experience, right? I loved Kobe, who I think Kobe's like retired now. I haven't been following Kobe's Twitter profile because the last time I checked, he hadn't tweeted in forever. But he used to write really great articles. Okay, here's what I would do. 500K, 25-year time horizon, Ethereum. That's it. Ethereum's a deflationary asset. You don't have to worry about all the speculation about whether it's going to be here or not. You can likely, start staking that and potentially make a yield. So Ethereum, I think, depending on when you catch it, 25 years from now, it's either going to be bull cycle, bear cycle, whatever. You just got to wait maybe a year or two left, and then you can sell at all-time highs, which by that time will be 100 grand. I don't know. I wish I had told myself that when I got in. I have traded and been all around this space from the ICO days to the NFT days. And without question, if I had just invested in ETH every single day I was in this industry until now, I would probably be sitting prettier. Punks and Fidenzas. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. I think NFTs on that front. The ringers are another one I would go with. I think, there's obviously committed individuals behind, that are holding those and see provenance there. Tasty's the only free NFT project that I know of that still has an active community in the thousands, but also the one I committed to. Okay, I'll bring that up here in a sec. I could recommend projects like Cyberbrokers if you like that kind of thing. Bought some friendship bracelets. Marty's got a really good. It's interesting because as much as Marty fuds in the short term, a lot of his thesis or the result of whatever thesis is in his brain is making him bullish on long-term projects, which ETH, of course. So the other thing is just, I guess, like we're diving into portfolio management, and and you could just have a basket, right? Like 80% could be an ETH, and 20% you can just dick around with and lose money on. The squigs. Yeah, but so Easy saying he's having a similar experience to me, right? So he's basically, I wish I had just like DCA'd Ethereum for the last 6 years. The the issue that most people have with that is it's not fun. It's not like interesting. I even try to like sell people that I don't try to sell. This is NFA. But whenever I have the normie crypto conversation, like, oh, I'm in Bitcoin. Oh, what's Bitcoin? Oh, what's this? What's NFTs? I'm always just like, dude, and I look them directly in the eyes now because before they would think I was like joking. I'm like, just buy Ethereum and do nothing else. But nobody wants that. It's not sexy. It's just not. You tell them XRP, their eyes light up. Why? Why? People are fucking greedy. But the thing is, they don't understand that ETH fundamentals are so good that it is being greedy to say throw it all in ETH. Quantum Variant saying buy ETH, BTC, and punks and apes. I think apes do have provenance, right? I think apes are easily the most recognizable NFT IP. Not within our bubble, not within those that know, but within, and you can make the argument they are even within that bubble, but within the whole world, right? I think NFT apes are the most known. So I think owning one is provenance long term. All right. If any breaking news happened while it was live, again, I'm up solo, so I'm not able to kind of multitask to that degree. So if you guys have anything that broke, let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys for the conversation today, man. It's cool to. It's almost cathartic. Easy. We're just getting our sorrows out, sharing a beer. I brought this up on GM Web3 this morning, the Twitter Spaces we host via the Web3 profile. Worldcoin suspended in Kenya, one of its biggest markets for signups so far. What'd you think was going to happen? I imagine these government officials in these countries are just like, one, like flabbergasted. Maybe they're not flabbergasted by this point because the audacity of millennials or some type of like billionaire owner in San Francisco to say he's going to usurp the currency in that nation by launching a world currency and thereby making the currency with which they interact with daily worthless or at least less valuable. How is that going to be received? And oh, by the way, this is not someone from Kenya. This is some dude sitting in a Palo Alto office that already has ability. Like none of that shit makes any sense to me. Marty was talking about the UBI debate. I used to be interested in UBI. That was when I thought it was cool because I knew about AI or like machine learning before like the majority of the public. So we were like, oh, AI is going to destabilize everything. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was like on Andrew Yang's ass because he was going to do UBI. Marty saying I might get a Grail Mint Pass. Biggie made a good case. 25 years though. I don't know. I think we made our case. Anyways, Worldcoin is being banned in Kenya because the Kenyan government does not want to be destabilized by a fucking business that's trying to create a world currency. Like, I can't wait to read the quote. I haven't even read this article yet. I was reading it more on Twitter. I can't wait to see the quote from this because I just what they would say is just going to be so in line with logic. The government is concerned by the ongoing activities of an organization calling itself WorldCoin, which is involved in the registration of citizens through the collection of eyeball and iris data. Frank, come on, Frank. Accordingly, the government has suspended forthwith activities of WorldCoin and any other entity that may be similarly engaging. I love how they're adding like future. Hey, if any of the other assholes wants to launch a UBI token, that's getting suspended. That may be similarly engaging the people of Kenya until relevant public agencies certify the absence of any risk to the general public. That actually is what's most crazy about this whole thing. We've been talking about these type of tokens, these like worldwide, currencies with, blockchain rails. And seemingly overnight, we had one without anybody asking any questions. And they could just be rolled out on the streets of San Francisco and the roads of Kenya without anything happening. No, nobody. They just put these out and people started showing up. And it's predatory, man. It's predatory specifically to people in locations like Kenya, where $10 or whatever the hell the iris data like would get you, like $10-20. It's predatory to people whose entire monthly check is that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Marty, I am interested though, because the whole idea that Andrew Yang was running on is that like machines are essentially going to replace a majority of the populace that do I don't want to call them menial jobs. They're not menial, but like these jobs that can easily be performed by an increasing like quality of robotic work. What is then the answer? Because that's the one thing I haven't put my mind around is what does happen in those environments as we get to a more automated society. But the answer is 100 billion, 1,000,000,000% not giving people free money, because people suck. People suck. And most people don't suck, but when you set up the foundation for the person to suck, they're gonna suck. Like we're just weak people. Like we're just monkeys, man. Like I feel like I'm like on a pulpit right now, but like people are very. If you say here, don't work, I'm gonna give you money. A lot of people are not gonna grow as individuals in that case. Yeah, Prado, I'm on late and I'm on one. People will cheat the UBI system so hard. It's yes, they will do that. Okay, so Marty's answering my question. There will be different jobs, but UBI will make people all slaves and dependent. Answer a different evolution of jobs. The problem is we haven't ever got to the point. Like I agree in total. Like the person who was, I think we always go back to the people, the ladies who were like switching the teleprompters or the communication lines when the phone systems worked that way. Like those people need to find new jobs. The issue now becomes like as automation, like you're getting rid of jobs and like what job is being created that they could fill. So I feel like there is a little bit of like the technology throws this type of tech throws a wrench into it, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, unless you want a huge amount of uselessness, don't do UBIs. Agreed. I'm glad we're all kumbayaing on this, down with UBIs. Hero Space is saying those dinosaurs are just trying to keep hold of our funds. They're evil and selfish and scared too. I'm assuming you're talking about the government that's currently in control. Also, you look at, and I was born in San Diego and I have an appreciation for California, but you look at the systems where money is doled out, like money, like throwing money at an issue is not the answer. It's very clear that throwing money at an issue blindly, I should say, is not the answer. Like, look, you guys are going to hear me talk about this a couple more times. I'm not going to like lead with this ever. I am getting a little bit more into Robert Kennedy, and one of the things that he is really I'm vibing with him on, and I can already feel Marty's like thumbs down emoji that's coming through. But one of the things I'm vibing with him on is that he is literally saying out loud, we are the most over medicated country in the entire world, the United States. And we're also the country with the most problems. It's not solving the issue. What we're spending money on is not solving these issues. It's actually making it worse. Suicide rates. It's not like where are, first of all, timeout, because we are so far down a rabbit hole that I don't know. But look, drug use, suicide rates, all these things are at all-time highs. It's not even comparable in other countries. We're one of the only countries that actually runs pharmaceutical ads on TV. And this is coming from Kennedy, by the way. That's one of the first things he's going to do in office is just executive order, no pharmaceutical ads. It's the U.S. and New Zealand. The rest of the world says this is probably not good for the majority of our population to just be ingesting medication on the daily, actually being like shown in a positive light. Because we all know what those ads look like. Just having a great day, doing all this stuff. But anyways, I want to get off this topic. I'm going to pop off here in a second. Quantum saying we can solve all the problems, but we choose not to. It's a choice, and in all countries, not just the U.S. That is such a great point, because I know that we have a lot of viewership around the world on our various shows, and I know that you guys are all going through issues. I will say that most other countries seem like they know how to handle their issues a little bit better than the U.S. We seem like a drunk, like teenager at I don't know, at a family party, just like everyone's kind of looking at him being like, the hell's going on over there? I know too much to trust RFK. He has 2001 talking point. His dad, uncle, but I don't trust him at all. I almost feel like sometimes I like don't want to say this stuff live. I feel like on YouTube, I'm just like getting watched. Yeah. Oh no, I went down the rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole on the pharmaceutical companies, and you really what it looks like is like pharmaceutical companies, military industrial complex. Again, I'm not going to stand up here and just be a parrot to Kennedy or the different things that I listen to, but what I know is that what he's talking about is what I see happening in front of me. Yeah, frat boys is a great example. And the problem is like we used to not be, so it's like some type of degradation here, and it definitely feels like we're piling on, not going in the right direction. But maybe we're gonna have a fourth turning here soon. All right, look, I'm not even sure there's a possible way to put us back on the tracks. We are so far into the wilderness that I don't know where we go from here. Just like going back to a NFT store at this point seems like a tough task. I guess I'll try, and then I'll leave here in like 5 minutes with you guys. Thanks for joining me, by the way. Solo, you guys were awesome. This is an old school NFT live episode. Looks like Grails are revealing. So we've been touching on Grails. Biggie Poppins will be in tomorrow, touching on Grails. in all the art that's revealing. He actually has multiple that he needs to claim. So we're going to actually have a reveal there, what he was able to get. But 4 more Grails artworks have been revealed. Set your reminders for special Grails Parliament tomorrow at 12 p.m. Kevin Rose and Eli Shine will be giving away a mint pass, sharing some exciting announcements, and maybe a little alpha. So we were Grails seems to be one of the more successful like platforms in the industry right now. Just the way they set it up, the features, the IP that's surrounding it, the art that is being displayed, the art are involved, and just everything. It seems like a really successful package. I think we mentioned yesterday that's been copied by multiple different platforms at this point. But it's nice to have Grails. It's a nice win for Proof Collective. I think that's one I didn't pull up. Proof Collective is doing extremely well on the short-term price charts. All right, Theo Voice saying America is known by the world as the ghetto of the world. Damn. I will say, if you look at some of our like largest cities, you're talking Philadelphia, Chicago, New Orleans. I'm sure parts of New York. I'm not a New Yorker myself. Some other area, yeah. There's some really just like, how did we get here? LA. I mean, some of those photos from San Francisco and LA. I'm just like, wow. How did we get here? I just read JFK and the Unspeakable, great book, learned tons of new facts. Appreciate the shout out there to a potential good read. All right, folks, I think that's it for me, man. Yeah, I think that's it. I need to get to the threads today. So, guys, if you are here and supporting the network, we definitely, like I said multiple times, appreciate it. But we're delving into other ways to distribute this content, right? And one of those ways is what we're calling the rehash. So, daily afternoon rehashes. We've been collecting the news again. We do that daily and talk about it. So, basically, we throw it into these threads. This one's about 14 tweets long, but we're essentially curating that news and displaying it in a different way so that you can keep up in that sense if you maybe missed the YouTube or something like that. So if you're interested in that stuff, we do create these daily. We're starting a daily newsletter here in the next few days. And yeah, we're getting after it here. So appreciate your support as always. Any last topics you guys want me to hit? Let me know in like the next 30 seconds. I'll be here. But yeah, fantastic show today. You never know how these solo ones go, but we got there. True, but Niners Cowboys. Well, you know what? I've got nothing to say about that. Oh man, hopefully this year's different. I will say that. Because if we go out in the divisional round to the San Fran 49ers again, I am literally going to become a Browns fan. Football starts this month. That's the last topic I'll leave out on. If you are a football fan, soccer's starting back up too, or football, as you folks across the pond say it, and the world, I guess. So Wagner United, Crawley Town is going to start another run. We'll see how that goes. But American football is starting back up, and I couldn't be happier. College football, NFL. We're just getting back to some good times, man. Fall's a great time. Great to spend these hours with y'all each day. And I do appreciate it. But I'm going to head out of here, folks. I will see you tomorrow. Again, we have all 4. Biggie Poppins, Ronan the Collector, Gift Dead, and myself on NFT Live tomorrow. Y'all are awesome. Our vibe, our tribe.